disappointing result from McAdam last night. How frustrating is that for you guys amongst the group, considering, Cosy and Bobby getting lesser verdicts?
Well, it's a complicated one, but yeah, we're disappointed. I want to make it clear, we feel Shane should have tackled in that moment. We're appealing more so for parity in a decision that was made probably less than 24 hours earlier around penalty and so on, but it's obvious the bump is finished in our game. It's just now a matter of where to from here. And but yeah, a complicated weekend, which hopefully long term sets us in the right direction.
Do you coach that out, the bump out now?
Yeah, we do. We'll talk to our players, and we've coached in that direction already. And as I said, we would like Shane to have tackled in that instance, but it is a split-second game. It moves so fast. It's a lot tougher than it looks like in slow motion. So, yeah, we'll work our way through it. But we'll be saying to our players, look, I think the bump's gone, and it's all about player welfare and protecting their head. It just makes it the game moves so fast that if you're going to bump, it's too hard for you to say, well, I'm not going to hit the head.
Given that you named him, were you confident in the appeal then?
Well, that's more of a process. Yeah, we named Shane best case scenario. We always look at best case scenario. We had a lot of plans in place.
How's Shane going? I guess we are disappointed at with the tribunal. The tribunal ruling. How's the outcome? Yeah. Got thrown out.
Yeah, look, he's well at the moment. It was a tough week and so on, as you can imagine, but we put a lot of support around Shane, as we do with all our players, and we'll continue to keep an eye and make sure he's okay.
Matt, when you say the bump's dead, you mean the bump's dead only if you hurt someone?
It's hard now. It's probably not the time. I think that right now the focus for me, and I hope you take this the right way, is we've got Richmond this weekend, so we're sort of head into footy. We're right in it. How do we knock off Richmond, who are a very, very good side?
When you released the team last night, there were a couple of, one in particular, one omission that sort of caught the eye with Jordan Butts. Can you talk us through why he's not playing?
Well, it's probably more about what's coming in as well. But I won't shy away from the question. We've got a lot of pressure for spots at the moment. We've got guys knocking on the door, in fact, smashing it down. So Lockie Scholl has come in. He's in outstanding form. He's had a great month of footy. We wanted to bring in form and bring it in when it deserves to be in, and so that shuffles the deck a little, and we've changed it up. And with Jordan, we haven't seen the best of him. It's been a challenging pre-season for him. We just want him to go away and find his best footy again, and we're hoping with that change he'll be able to go back and work on his confidence. He was limited throughout pre-season with a shoulder, a bit of an AC issue. And it makes it hard. We've seen that historically over the last couple of years with players, going through that same injury. So get him back, get some confidence for him, get him back to his best, because he's very important to us. He's, across the last few years, he's beaten some real key forwards for us, done some big jobs, and we just want to find that again for him.
Are you too small down back without him?
Yeah, there'll be a challenge for us. We don't feel we're too small. We like to be flexible in that area. We're looking at the game and where it's heading. But that'll be something we've got to keep working on. There's a number of things we've got up our sleeve to help with cover on that. That's about us balancing the team up and getting the best mix we can. But yeah, we've got a back line that we've got a number that can play tall and small, which is something that we're looking at. There's a lot more to just the decision than just this week.
And when you look at Scholl, he says he's in great form. Could you just talk us through without sample games, or what have you seen from him to be in fantastic form?
Oh, Scholly's at his best at the moment, and strike while the iron's hot. Scholly really starts seasons well. He's shown that to us. His challenge is to keep it going right throughout the year. He's an elite athlete. He works his pre-season as good as any, and we've had trial games. He's been playing in every game over in Perth, and on the weekend, he was one of the standouts. So, we bring Scholly in. We know what he brings. His ball use. He's up and down the ground. There's not many that run quite the distance he does, and we feel that's really important against Richmond. So we've also looked at the matchup this week that we're going to need that run because Richmond throw a number of challenges at you.
What's been his issue in the second half of the season? So he'll be his first AFL minutes since around 10 last year.
Oh, I think, no, it's not so much his issues, it's more about where the game goes. You know, the game changes a little during the middle of the season. I'm probably more pointing out that he's a absolute, you know, professional when it comes to his preparation, and sometimes he gets the jump on a lot of the players throughout the league. So not so much what he needs to work on, it's more his strength.
Murphy coming in from Macadam as well, was it a difficult decision not to choose Thilthorpe?
It was this week, yeah, and his time will come. You know, Riley, talk about form on the weekend, Riley went back and did exactly what we asked. He, you know, he dominated a game at SANFL level, you know, rucking and forward of the ball. He was very powerful in the air. Now the step up's the next challenge. We'd like to see him continue to do that, but his time will come.
What does Murphy bring that Thilthorpe maybe doesn't to the table?
Oh, that's team mix, that's balance. You know, Shane going out, some see Shane as that sort of tall forward. Shane doesn't play necessarily that way. He can look tall in a marking contest when he stands on someone's head, but he gets up and down the ground, Shane. He brings, you know, elite pressure when the ball's on the ground. So that was really our conversation this week in match committee was how does our team balance out? What looks best for us to win the game of footy? And you know, even with that decision, that was a tough decision of who came in. We felt Murphy was going to add the best balance for us. He was in good form, but we had Ned McHenry knock on as well. And that's a really good position to be in. You know, when you've got players that are probably disappointed that they're not selected, it's a good sign. It's a hard one though when you have to, you know, have that conversation with them. But it's a good position for us to be in as a footy club.
Have you locked in the tactical sub yet?
We have.
Can you tell us who?
No, I can't tell you that one. I would normally though. I give it to you every now and then. No, this week we've locked that in at this point. Again, we've just finished a session. It was very, very light, but you know, we'll make sure everyone pulls up well from that session and then move into tomorrow. But we'd rather hold on to.
I know you've moved on to this week, but can I just touch on last week's review from that?
Yeah.
Particularly fitness-wise, I mean, it looked like just watching from home that you ran out of gas, but is that too simplistic?
Yeah, it is. I think, look, both teams ran out of gas. They performed better in those moments when they were fatigued, and both teams were very fatigued, but they were better in the moment. Though, you know, we weren't competing at stoppage towards the end of the game. We dropped right off in that area. And then right across the game, we had a couple of key areas where it wasn't so much that we lacked run, it was that we ran at the wrong times. So we've had a really good look through that, and we've got clarity around why we didn't win the game on the weekend. There's a fair bit goes into that, but there was one standout area of our game that we didn't quite get right, and against good sides, they're never going to give up. And to GWS credit, they ran over us in that last one. Not from a fitness point of view, it was when we were running. You know, we were still chasing but maybe we were a little bit late in it.
So do you challenge, I guess, the mids to get it right this week, you know, without Keys and Sloan in there? Do you keep the faith in the young group?
Oh yeah, no, we've still got a lot of faith in the young group. I mean, you know, 7 days earlier, we probably had one of our best performances in that area. But in saying that, we're extremely flexible around, you know, what players we get through that area. It's a long season, so the last thing you want to do is be fatigued come August. So yeah, Keys is still very much in the mix for us on ball, and as is, you know, Rory Sloan. It's just on the weekend, it was just a couple of key moments in the game where, you know, it gave our oppo field position. You know, it was a 5-minute period where if we could have our time again, we'd get a couple of key points right in that moment.
Nixie, Sloan's named in the middle. Will he go to the first centre bounce? And if so, is that sort of indicative of, you know, what you'd like to change about the midfield mix?
I've got to try and keep Sloan out of there. I don't want to answer that one at this point, only because I don't really want to give him who's in the centre bounce for the first one. But as I said before, we got no issue with who's in that centre bounce. That's probably one of the things we're working on is having flexibility for a number of people to go through. Now there's a balance there of you don't want to, you don't want a merry-go-round. You want players to be able to settle in there and get to work. But Josh Rochelli's, you know, he would have played 50-50 mid-forward last week. Saligo, you know, similar. Sloan didn't get in there last week, but he will, you know, across the coming month. There'll be times where we need his experience and we need his freshness in and on the ball. But this will all be, this will vary depending on how we pull up from games. But we do want that flexibility.
Mind if we just touch on Isaac? Did you hear what he said during the week on Wednesday about his 50th game?
I didn't.
No, it was just that when he first got the Crows jumper, it meant so much to him, and running
Yep.
out, he's
Yep.
going to be nervous in front of his family and friends. But it's a moment that he's dreamt of his entire life since he watched sort of Eddie Betts and all that. Do you talk to him about how to sort of stay calm in what for him might feel like the biggest moment of his career?
Yeah, we try and bring our players back to just simplify things. It's hard. I mean, there's a challenge with, we talk about the bright lights. It's all good until someone punches you in the face sort of mentality. When the pressure comes on, how are you going to respond? I thought he was outstanding on the weekend. There's some areas we'll keep working on. He obviously impacted the game substantially in the first half, and then we just dropped off a little as a team in that second half, which makes it hard as a half forward, small opportunist forward, and we didn't give him as many opportunities. So, but I did read one where it was pulling the jumper on. I know he's super proud to be at the club that he supported as a youngster. And he's back home. Whenever you talk to Isaac, there's a big grin on his face. He's back with family, and he's going to play better footy when he feels comfortable away from footy.
How's he been this week? I guess given this match is something he's been looking forward to for so long.
Well, he and I, we've got a little challenge together, so we've had a good laugh through a couple of little things. I won't give you any of that detail, but look, it'll be exciting for him, to run out on Adelaide Oval. Even today, when we got out there, it's a magnificent venue. It's the grass is pristine. You're looking up at the cathedral. There's nothing like it, and so to be able to stand there with a couple of guys and say, well, this is a stadium. There's not too many better in the world. Well, Isaac's going to hopefully enjoy that this weekend. Hopefully we get a result for him.
How's he settled back into life in Adelaide? I guess there was that kind of feeling before when he got drafted. It's a better thing to be out of Adelaide. How's he settled back into life in Adelaide?
You might have to ask Isaac that question. He looks really happy. Anytime you talk to him about how he's going off field, which is really important, I'm just home. I'm glad to be home.